Okay. So my name is Alka Kurian. I'm an associate teaching professor at the University of Washington, Bothell. I'm also the director of TSAL, the Tasveer South Asian Literature Festival 2021. I'm zooming in from Morocco, where I've been living since July this year, working on a Fulbright research project. I have with me today the award-winning Afghan writer, activist, and educator, Dr. Homeira Qaderi. Dr. Qaderi is an outspoken advocate for Afghan women's rights and the rule of law. She has a PhD in Persian literature. She is a professor at Kabul University. She joins me from Texas. I'm so delighted to have you with us today, Dr. Qaderi. So talk to us about your life before the Taliban came to power in Afghanistan.
Hi to everyone. Excuse me, can you please repeat your question? I couldn't take you clear.
Yes,
here.
Of course. So talk about your life before the Taliban came to power in Afghanistan.
In Afghanistan, every life is like a story, and every person, men and women, has own stories. And you know, in one thing is that our story is in common. Usually we in the poverty, in war and immigration. We are similar in these stories, and we have common roots in this story. Like others, I have my own in Afghanistan. I have spent whole my life in war or in immigration, in Iran border immigration or in civil war in Afghanistan. And I don't remember usually the good or happiness childhood like other children in my country. I have spent my childhood in civil war. I have spent my childhood even in the Iran border, and another part of my life at the time of my teenager life, I spent it with the Taliban, and I had the experience of living with them. And all my childhood, I had one doll, cloth doll, that my grandmother made him in the house for me. And it was the only doll in the street that all the children, the girls' children, usually play with my doll. So it's true that I was a child, but I remember the endless hunger in my country. I was a child, but still I remember the fear of bombs and rockets in my country. And I still remember the grief of losing my loved one in that country.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So please talk to us about the conditions under which you fled Afghanistan, leaving behind your family, your home, and your country.
Actually, we are really tired to being immigration. You know, the home is not, the age is, the life is not very long. And we're really tired from to being immigration day by day and years by years. Because of that, when the Taliban captured the Afghanistan at the first Herat, and after that Herat, my city, and after that Kabul, I really decided with all my mind that I stay in Afghanistan because I didn't want to be a homeless again. But my father told me that I am old right now, I cannot support you anymore. At the first time when the Taliban came to Afghanistan in 1996, my father was around I think 37 and like that, and he could really a good protective for me. But he told me right now I am around 60 and I cannot really protect you, and you are an activist woman right now, so it's better to leave Afghanistan. It was around 6 o'clock that I decided to came to airport with a lot of problems and leave Afghanistan. You know, I was had my painful experience from a flight in my life. That was really most painful flight in my life. The army the elementary plan was going up, and I felt that I was going down. my body was shocking and my eyes full of tears. And just my son asked me, Siava, she's around eight, and he told me that, what's happened to you, mom? And I couldn't explain my feeling to him. I just said, I miss my parents. But actually, I missed every street of my homeland. For me, it was really hard to leave that country because I wanted to stay and I wanted to continue for fighting for women at that country. Because of that, every person who is fled from Afghanistan has her history, and for me also it was a painful, full of.
Yeah, this is truly amazing, your journey from Afghanistan. You know, not only when you were a little girl as a child, when you were hiding, first you were hiding from the Soviets, and then when the Soviets left, you were hiding from the Taliban, and when the girls were disallowed from going to school, you started homeschooling. So talk to us a little bit about the kind of rebellion and the kind of challenge, you know, the kind of life that you've led, full of, you know, always sort of speaking out against the Taliban and rebelling against them.
Sometimes people say to me, maybe you are a strong woman. I said, no, we didn't have any way to except to be a rebellion. Yes, I was all my life. I don't know, I was rebellion or I was strong, but our life full of war and challenges, and we wanted to survive with that challenges. Because of that, I was one of the girls in the city who wanted to fight with everything. You know, I don't say that life is okay to be like a fighter, but in Afghanistan, the situation made you a fighter. And the first time that Taliban came in Afghanistan, in 1996, I didn't have any way except to continue my life. At that time, we had a lot of violence in Afghanistan, and they didn't allow even the girls at the 7 age go to their school. Right now, they accepted till the 6th grade that they accept to go to the girls go to their school. But at our times, they didn't allow us. So because of that, I started have a class in house, in my kitchen. It was belong to my mother, the kitchen, and she told me that I can give this kitchen to you, and you can make it as a classroom for your girls, your neighbor girls. My mom at that period very helped me, and my father bring house a blackboard from his school. He was a teacher. And we started a class, girls and boys, because in schools also, the boys doesn't have very good study. They just has Islamic studies, not more. And they wanted to know about maths and others books. Because of that, we studied in the house together. I teach them Persian, our language, to how write and read. And also we teach them a little about geography, history, and maths. And another thing that we had also a class in that days, in Monday, in afternoon Monday or every week. And we went to that class, 4 girls. We studied together the novel, and we wrote together. I was the first one in period of Taliban who her story published in a newspaper. The Taliban wanted to find who is she that she wrote a story and put her names, because the woman names always was forbidden in that time. You know, my life is full of the down than up, but I really think that they are made me, and I really own to that years, because I think I learned to how continue in a country that is named Afghanistan.
Mm-hmm. And so how did you start writing? Talk about your writing career. You've written so many books.
When the Taliban came to Afghanistan, they closed every library, they closed every school, and they books from the library, my house library, and he covered them on the ground because he didn't want the Taliban find any book in our house. So because of that, we didn't have any job to do. My father was a literature teacher, and he usually read the books. Sometimes my father took the books from under the ground one by one, and he give it to me to read it. It was the start of my story, because I read a lot at that time, with help of my father. And also we make a class, as I told you, in one of the girls' house in Herat. Kirkus has a book, Swing Circle of Herat, and that book is about that 4 girls, that one of them is me. We started to reading and writing together. We were 4, and we had also a teacher. He was a man, and usually at that time it was forbidden. We gathered together under the name of the Swing Circle, and we just pretended that we are suing something there. After the Taliban leave Afghanistan, I went to university, and I continued my study also, and writing in professional way.
Mm-hmm. So the Taliban say that they are very different from how they were 20 years ago. Do you agree?
Yes, I agree. They are really changed. They are really ruthless than past. Their vibes are really more strong. The lashes right now is really more stronger. They really change. They doesn't allow right now to woman going to a street. They doesn't allow women walk in the street. They doesn't allow go to their work. They doesn't allow going to the school. They really change. They are more ruthless. They use Islam as an excuse, and have a very bad and ugly way with the people in society. They change children. Do you believe me? They change children in the streets. They hanging men from the trees. My city is a city from poem and poet and story and novel, but the week that passed, I had a lot of picture that the Taliban hanging. They set up field court in the cities, in the streets, and they hanging the men from the trees. They really changed. We didn't see this picture even before in the 1996.
So talk about where the Taliban have come from. If they don't represent the people of Afghanistan, if they don't represent the values of the people of Afghanistan, where have they come from?
This war is not our war, it's our proxy war in my country. If I say about the Taliban, it means it's a it has a politic root, but I cannot speak about that. But I know my people, Taliban is not from us. Maybe they have our identity. It is okay, but they teach in Pakistan. They are as a weapon from others' country that they came to my country. Others' country came to my country, and they make their war in my country. It's the war between the other country. We have the very cheap soldier, and they take us, our children, and they teach them in Pakistan, and they make a war in Afghanistan. If you saw in my people, if you saw in the media, my people, they are very happy people. We live in the Kabul. Kabul is a suicidal city, but the people of Kabul live with all their sins in that city. Our people are very happy people. We don't believe to suicide attack. But I don't know this culture come from where, and I know, but it's not our war. It's a proxy war in my country, and people is very sad because of that. But we cannot do anything because we are a poor country.
We've been reading about, and we've seen images and videos of Afghan women who are still in Afghanistan resisting the Taliban. Talk about that.
I remember from the first day that Taliban captured Herat and after that Kabul and other cities, the women started to insist in the media and also in the streets. Even I went for media at the first 10 days, maybe for 7 times to go to every media and speak. Before that, I didn't go because I had busy with other stuff. But when the Taliban came to Afghanistan, I started to go to every media that even they didn't want me. I called to the media, I want to speak because I believe to negotiation. I wanted to speak. I wanted to enter a conversation with the Taliban because they captured the city and we didn't have another one. We started to insist. But as you know, right now in Afghanistan, as you can see, the insist is a little fell down because people the insist put women and under the danger, under high risk, and we should give them right because it's about the death and life. So yes, they are doing to insist about the Taliban, but I'm not sure that we can continue alone in Afghanistan because it's not safe for the woman in the street to go out, and I'm sure the Taliban will kill. I'm sure the Taliban will kill them very easy without thinking about that. They are not care about women. They hate from women. And it's a very good excuse for them to kill people because they say kill, especially women, because they say they wanted to make rebellion about us. So, and I think it's our responsibility to insist for women in Afghanistan. When say our, my means, it's our responsibility. My means is me and the others women who can flee from Afghanistan, because we are a little more safe here and we can speak for them.
Mm-hmm. And describe your life in the United States these days, and how does future look like for you?
Okay, I am a writer, and I am here with my pen, and I will continue. I am writing right now for 20 years about Afghanistan, about history of Afghanistan, about women in Afghanistan, and about the challenges in Afghanistan. I will continue in writing, but about the future, I'm not clear here. It's really hard to have a country, to have a street, and it's really hard to suddenly you don't have anything and you be a homeless. I'm a Texas camp here. I cannot think about future. The whole mind is in the past. I'm just thinking about my country, about the woman. I have taken about maybe 100 SMS every day through the WhatsApp, via the Messenger and Facebook or Twitter, that the women need help from me. They wanted to go out of Afghanistan. We cannot change the situation in Afghanistan right now. We are not on the power. So they wanted to fill it out. Because of that, I cannot really think about my future. I think I put my mind all in the past in Afghanistan. And I started to continue some classes for teaching creative writing for girls or boys in Afghanistan. You believe me that I put that caption in Facebook that I wanted to start as the sewing circle of Herat again. And just look at that Facebook, my face. It take around 1,000 like, and more than, I want to just choose 15%. But right now I have more than 5,000 person that they wanted to join to this class. It means the whole country in the depressed way, and they wanted a way to be a little more busy. Because of that, I say, I don't think about my future here, but I hope USA be a place for my son to think about equality, to act for equality.
Yes, thank you so much for talking to us. And we look forward to talking to you when you join our panel on gender when the literary festival starts. Thank you
Sure,
so very much.
Thank you so much for having me in this conversation. I wanted you to support our women, support the voice of our women. Women in Afghanistan really need to support you at this special time.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us. Take care. Bye-bye.